The idea is not to finish the product or the solution.
It's to make money, you're right. You want the money.
Yes, yes, yes. If you can convince the judge that you can make more money than you can just stand here and say, okay, but I don't have anything, but this is the idea.
Yeah. No, this is the money. You see here?
Yeah.
You take the money, that's it. Thank you guys.
The guys will love you for that.
Refresh the page.
Did you refresh it?
Refresh the page.
Okay. How do I refresh this thing?
You'll see there's a live final pictures. Oh, okay. You need to go to TADHack.
So
no, the actual URL.
Oh, so it changed there.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a YouTube feed.
I don't know. I'm managing everything.
So let's see. Let's get here.
Final pictures. Yeah.
So it's live in 2 hours.
Don't go back. No, yes, that's the one.
So it's live.
Yeah. Just refresh the page. Oh wait, there's final pictures.
Yeah.
No, there it is.
Oh, this one. Okay, so it's live now.
Yeah. I'm in picture.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's good. We're in. We're ready. Did you change the quality, the picture quality?
It depends on your internet. It'll do adaptive bitrate.
Okay. I'm not so sure, but it doesn't look like it's bright enough yet.
I can brighten it.
Okay. Because
And I'll brighten it.
Okay.
The only reason I take down the brightness
Yeah.
is because of the screen. Otherwise, if I put it too bright, you lose the screen. It goes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. It looks much better. No. So you lost the screen completely.
Yeah, that's why I take it down.
Yeah, take it down.
I just leave it at naught.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. You can work with that. Thanks. It's almost like a 180.
I can go wider.
It's fine. I don't think anyone will make it here.
I've made it quite narrow.
Yeah.
There you come in. To there. There.
Until here. That's it.
that cable there, USB 3.0, eh?
Hashtag 1632.
Right here.
Right here. Okay. Use solution. Use solutions. DAA.
It feels like America's Got Talent, huh? Okay. Who are you going to be? Spice. What's her name? You like Heidi? You like Heidi too? Something like that. What's the other one's name? Spice. Something Spice. Mel, yeah. Yes. I've never indicated that one. I've learned that. Because I'm probably Mr. Singh. I was like, so Mr. Singh was my dad.
Yes, that's what I told them.
So in the first
They don't need to be in here. They don't need to use this live implementation.
So they shouldn't.
Hashtag 1632 only.
Okay.
You are.
Sorry guys, what was the place to present? There. That's one team, man. Are you guys part of that team? Alright, if you're not presenting, can you please just be part of it? Yep. Can you hear us that's presenting in the room? Are you presenting first?
Just look at that part before never change.
Guys, are you ready? No, if they can just stand outside of that, there's a group outside here. Yeah, they should just exit outside.
Then they will enter the site.
Gents, are you ready? Gents and ladies. Okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. They can come through. They can come through. Yes. That's fine. We'll sort it out.
So you guys will go up probably next up.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to get a VGA connector for that.
Is VG for you guys?
Alright,
They're going first. Okay.
is it the three of you? Yeah.
Okay, you can go first.
If it's the three of you, can I just ask you to sit there? Makes it easier for me to focus. Table to the timer. Yes. Okay, we'll see the timer by the
Excuse me, could we get another pen, please? This pen's not working.
Sorry, Brian. Please take the phone.
Okay, folks, are you ready to rock? You ready?
Yeah.
Are you going to project for us? Is that your presentation? No. Is that yours?
I'm sorry, DJ, can you please have the sound down? Completely off.
We need mic, we need sound off.
That's my
Alright, guys, we are stuck on time. So, who's timing? Is anybody timing? Who's timing?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
5 minutes, right?
5 minutes, go.
I can.
Okay. Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to present you with SIM applet done by Bitmobites. It's Wandile and Fundo, my colleague here. So I'm going to just take you through a few pointers about Bitmobile SIM applet and what it does. Start with the first slide. So you can see, as it says, there's product versus service. So we've just made it simpler for everyone to make payments. So this is the executive summary. SIM applet is a USSD SMS generator for not only township SMEs, but anyone who can creatively monetize from our unique system, including events organizers, ticket identification, and this will allow end users to purchase online goods, services without using a traditional bank card or service that's related to a bank. So we've realized that this really targets issues within the community. So one is by the purpose of this phishing attempt. Generally, it's a campaign that tries to get the victim to do one of two things. It's either hand over sensitive information, no one wants that, to give away personal info, and these messages aim to trick the user into revealing important data about themselves. So often a username, a password, and that the attacker can use to push the system to further transact on your account. So this doesn't have any bank accounts, and I'm going to leave it here for my colleague to further dissect it of how it works actually.
Hi, this is Mpundo. Okay, I'm going to explain how the system quickly works. This is just the program flowchart of how the system works. If you have airtime, of course it will fail. If you don't have airtime, it will fail because it uses money, but if you do, it will take you to our screens. You just dial a simple string and it takes you to our service menu, where it's a menu-based USSD. These are the screenshots for it, and so for now, the example we have now is just one service. So we'd have a lot listed if a lot of people would sign up to our service, right? You can unsubscribe to a specific service you signed up to, but ultimately what you do, Brightside is like a Brightside fund day, and they tell you that dial this number to get a ticket, right? If you don't have 50 Rand airtime, it's going to tell you have insufficient funds because the ticket is 50 Rand. If you do, it will deduct it from your money and it will give you a reference number, right? That reference number could be an identification reference number with the person who's controlling the event to say this is the number. But we have a verification system as well which we allow users to embed on their own website, right? So that's how we basically monetize. So users go onto this website, that's the bright side link, okay? They sign up subscription online, which is like an e-commerce platform for the users. They pay traditionally, but their clients don't pay traditionally. They request the USSD, IVR, SMS service on our platform. There's a turnaround time for our team to create it in time. So you open like a ticket, and it will show you the progress of your specific USSD. So if the event is only in December, you need to send it in time for us to create it quickly. And then once you have a USSD, you will create every single thing under your specific account, okay? You can embed the text box for verification for the code on your own website. Of course, big data analytics. We track everything, so the users that are clicking a specific USSD at a specific point, we're able to track their data. SMS marketing on the USSD output. So after every USSD, users get an SMS. We're also going to monetize from that because the SMS won't be this clean. It will also have a lot of ads from insurance companies and stuff like that. So that's also a way of monetizing from this entire system. So it's simple. You dial a USSD, you get a code. Once you get the code, you can put it on the online system and then it verifies the code, it turns green. I'm just going to get my colleague to quickly show a demo of the online system quickly. Okay. Yeah, this is where users sign up. They go to the business portal and they can sign up. And then if you have an account already, you really don't have to sign up anymore because it just log in and then allows you to create whatever you need to create. Please pull up the mobile on the side. So, okay, this is just a quick demo of how this will run.
Okay, 5 minutes is up. 2 minutes for Q&A. I don't know if you want to allow them to.
Okay.
Can I for another 30 seconds? Quickly show how it works.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So the code is. Okay, once you get the code, I need you to go to the verification to verify the code so they see how you verify it online. So this will target community issues of people not wanting to pay using their bank card. They'll just use their airtime. And you don't have to have anyone having your personal information with them. So it's a pay-as-you-go system online, basically. So just like FastPay, PayPal, all the others.
Can we maybe ask questions?
Yes, questions, please.
So, does the merchant pay for this?
The merchant signs up on the subscription, and they can get subscription based from there. So here's the SMS that you get, and then you can verify the number. Please verify the number. So the users sign up online, and then from there they can create and then the ticket and all that. So we monetize from there. But users also have their own monetization schemes because with certain USSDs, they share WASP profits with MNOs like MTN and what. So with the WASP, so if I say USSD rates cost 150 or 50 rand, I don't make any money from that. It will be divided by the MNO and the WASP. What I make money from is just the online subscription and the verification code. So for MNOs or any client to embed the verification code, which is something like this, onto their website to approve the USSD numbers, we charge to get that embedded onto your website through subscription.
I didn't understand clearly. Who do you say is your customer here?
Okay, my customer can be.
Is it the merchant or the users? Like, is it?
No, the user just uses the string. It's star what, that's it. It's a utility for them, just like any please call me or any what. That's the user side. The merchant is the one that uses our software application, which is the web application and mobile application. They can sign up and create strings, and then whatever strings they create, USSD, SMS or what, they open a ticket for it. And then at the back end, we will create that and then send it to them once it's created. So we will.
It's a management portal for merchants to create their own services.
Yes, that's correct.
On USSD.
Yes, on my portal, that's right.
And what you're saying this is for township.
Yes, the reason I'm saying this is for township, right?
But no, let me ask a question. Let me put my question. If it's for township, how many township businesses have websites, for example? So who exactly Because that's what I'm trying to figure out in the township.
Okay.
Who would be, because...
Okay, it works two ways. If I'm an events organizer and I'm organizing an event, right, I'm going to print out tickets. I'm going to put the USSD on the ticket to say, if you want to buy a ticket, just dial the USSD. It will deduct 50 Rand from your airtime and it will give you a verification code. Once you have the verification code, on the day of the party, if you don't want to verify online, you can show us the verification code. We've got the list of all the verified verification codes on something like a text box like that. You can check it and verify it. If it's green, you go into the party. If it's red, it means that you've already been inside or something like that. You see? So the traditional way of USSD, a person can just come with an SMS, will still be able to work with it, right? But for online payments, right, for someone who needs to come and deliver something to you, right, what will happen then is that this person must take the verification code to say that they paid this amount, and then where it says fast pay, PayPal, or what, you choose the payment system, you choose SIM applet, right? After choosing SIM applet, it will just ask you for a verification code, and then you put it in, it's green, and then that's just a gateway, another way of paying using GSM instead of using traditional banking.
Got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Do I need a microphone?
That's, yes, you use it if you need it.
Okay.
Your team's name is?
New solutions.
U Solutions, got it. You.
Yeah. But Sven, you can use the mic because we're streaming live, so
Okay.
two other guys can also hear.
Thank you. Right. Okay, you have 5 minutes to present 2 minutes to question.
So greetings everyone. Our team name is U Solutions, and in preparation for TADHack, what we did is we stay in Pimble, Soweto, and we went around and spoke to on-demand job people who are involved in carpentry and plumbing, and realized that the main issue they have is they spend a lot of their time looking for jobs rather than doing jobs. And we believe that if we can improve this productivity, then the amount of time that we can spend to do the job can increase, and therefore productivity can increase. Now, our problem statement is that we want to boost township economic activity and equally develop service providers. And how are we going to do this? We're going to do this by using geolocation to see close proximity service providers and use AI for even distribution of these jobs within townships. Now, the process for our app is that in the first step, we will have service providers sign up at MTN stores, and we will have databases that verify people's ID and do a background criminal check. And then the second step is that an employer will seek a service provider, whether it be a plumber or electrician, on the app, and we will use geolocation to sense the closest people, and then we will be using AI, IBM Watson, to try and evenly distribute these jobs between the individuals around. And then the last step is that upon completion of the job, there'll be a rating done by the employer. So, the design we used for this was that we used USSD for legacy phones and for non-app users, and we used IBM Watson AI for real-time matching of these jobs that are demanded, and for job aggregation so that people are developed fairly within the community. Now, the VoIP element and API comes into play when you confirm the job that you've received. So, after confirming the job, when I log in to the USSD or into the app as an employee, I'm going to get a job schedule. And this job schedule is going to state what the jobs I have for the next day are going to be. And then there's an SMS API which we use for rating to ensure quality within our network. Okay, so our business canvas plan is that the key partners we have are going to be MTN, due to us signing up workers within the MTN call centers, and I've spoken to the officials and they said there's over 400 in the country, so there's clearly a wide range. And then IBM to store the data in the cloud and to use AI, and service providers are obviously the people who will be using this platform that we've created to be able to extend their services to the community. And then this is to also improve customer satisfaction of the people who are hiring the service providers within the township. Now, the customer segments we're aiming at are the potential self-employed service providers, so the lone man who stays in township and he goes around and does on-demand jobs, and township startups who are looking to formalize their business along with informal businesses, and households and general users, like a school, for example, may want to hire someone. And then the key activities to deliver this is that we have to verify the workers so that people can trust that on this network they're going to get the correct people coming to do the services for them. And the last part is an assurance audit per task commissioned. So this rating system is to ensure that for future users, they will be satisfied with the service they will get. Now, the customer relationship management comes in by saying that job scheduling we offer for the employers and service providers will improve their productivity, and it will keep them to the network and to the app. And the rating system is again to ensure quality for future users. Now, the main cost structure is that we'll be using IBM Cloud and AI, the background database for verification, and co-marketing with MTN through Please Call Me's, through the mobile app store to break into this. And how we cover this cost is through a transaction fee. So for example, it could be 250 on the side of the employer and 250 on the side of the employee. And to think of this in scale, when I speak to people in my township, people get an average of up to 3 jobs a day. So if you scale 3 jobs a day for an individual to a township, and then to a province, and then a country, it's a huge chance for acceleration.
Okay, I think your time's up. Do you have a demo that you can show? Yes, please. Well, why don't you take 30 seconds to do a quick demo?
Okay. Okay, so here's a demo. And they're the available services for the individual who's using the app. And this will also how it will be when it's on USSD. So for example, you choose the first option, which is gardener. And then you get the options that a gardener does for you. And then you choose the job that you want them to do. And then you choose the fee associated with it. And then the time for them to arrive. And when this happens, it's confirmed. And then I get an SMS. As you can see here.
Okay. How do you make money?
Through a transaction fee. And the transaction fee is deducted through airtime. And it's still loading here, but I want to show you the schedule that will appear on the employee side and the service providers. So this is how it will be. So it will show your job schedule, and these are the tasks that you get. And then you confirm. Okay, so what we wanted to use is to use the DB32 to store the database of all the profiles, because we saw that we can use JSON to extract that to try and use it for USSD, because USSD, one of the architectural issues was the SOAP protocol, which is old school for the database of today. And then we wanted to use the table insight service that they had, which is a way to extract the data from that. And that's how we will then recommend the people. And then we have AI, which does the counting to make sure that a certain person doesn't get more than 3 jobs before the next person gets a job.
I wanted to, how different is your app from Sweep South? Because they do Sweep South, they made their sort of government, and now they have, you can also hire a gardener children. So how is yours like different from them? And yes.
Well, what makes it unique is that there's going to be job aggregation. That's the word we're using, because it's going to efficiently and fairly promote people in the township, and it's going to improve productivity through job scheduling for the employees.
name of your team?
1632.
Cool. Okay, well, while we're waiting, do you want to start explaining what your proposition is? Let you mind.
Okay. Simple concept. 10 nodes, 200 users, let's address it. Who are we? About 2 years ago, my ex-girlfriend called me, and I was at home, and it was in the evening, with a serious medical condition. I could not reach out to her or try and call people to locate her where she was because she lives in an informal settlement. Now, she does not have the most basic human thing that people have, which is a home address. And we're here to try and solve people who live in informal settlements to get home addresses, right? You go to stores, they want to shop, they don't have proof of residence, right? So we have created a digitized proof of residence where they can just go to the store, show them a token, and they can just be validated, just like that. Number two, they want to buy goods from Macro. However, Macro cannot deliver to them because they don't know where they stay. Now this app will give them access to routes that they have never used before and access that they have never ever been to, right? Another thing that we do is we use crowdsourcing, right? So people that live around the area will be the ones to say that we validate that we know this person. They are who they say they are and they stay where they say they stay, right? And imagine if now we have all these pictures and all these videos crowdsourced and they're all working on one system. We have now routes that have been created which medical practitioners know to use in case of emergencies. All right, so our mantra is simple. 10 nodes, 200 people. Let's address it. How do we want to do this? The 10 nodes for 200 people is exactly going to cost us 4,700 Rand for the first pilot, right? And on that, who are our target markets? It's the youth that are in these informal settlements with smartphones. And we want them to go ahead and educate the rest of the people about this. And then our customers for monetization, it's healthcare companies. They're looking for research. They're looking for statistics. They want to understand the informal settlement market, how they can attack them with primary and referral care products that they have. One of the companies is General Electric, relief aid organizations, Red Cross. They want to know where to get these products, where to get these people, how to target them, and the solutions to give them. And I'm going to hand over to my partner just to show you the live demonstration.
Okay, so the solution works in two parts. We have nodes there. I think if I can show the judges. So this node is broadcasting Wi-Fi. If you open your devices now, you will see something written society node. So how it works is these things are a mesh, they create a mesh network whereby I simply open up my phone and then I say, okay, I take a picture of a house. Now, a house, we give it a common name, just like what 3 words. Common name, Guamtim. Okay, Guamtim, we link it to a geolocated address. So what we do, therefore, is there's still no route to go to that house. So here's where we come in. So we make people take videos of them walking alternative routes based on the transport type. Like there's a route for trucks, there's a route for bikes, there's a route for cars. So now all these routes are now made public to companies and also to emergency services. Now what that means is we have accelerated delivery of basic human services within the informal settlement. What that means is we have allowed for a decentralized network to work without costing the taxpayers a lot of money, because this is basically 4,000 Rand. So now, from here, just log in, we are able to now start seeing verification scope. So if I say I'm Tim, but now furniture shop do not necessarily trust me that I am Tim. So we have somebody called a custodian within that area. A custodian, what they do is they verify your information you put in. So if your neighbor has said, yes, you are It creates a token, a chain of trust. Now, that's between two people. It's a smart contract. Now, the custody is a community leader who will therefore also accept, hi, Mthembu lives here. And then we go a step further. We open an API for emergency services, whereby we can allow them to track to whether if somebody calls in, automatically we record their call. After recording their call, we transcribe it for police. And then we simply send it out to the mobile device, and then the police now know exactly what's happening there.
Why don't you show us quickly?
Okay, so now this is the platform. I already logged in. So this is the platform. The demo is in two. You can either access it through the Wi-Fi node, or you can access it here. So we open this up for demo purposes. So this is the application. So you can find your location almost in real time, and then this is the dashboard. You can see exactly how many addresses you have verified, how many are still pending, and then once I log out, I'm able to register a device ID. Device ID ensures that I am connected to a node. What this means is we're creating technology for smart blockchain voting, whereby the government, instead of using paper-based, they can simply deploy these nodes to say, election registrations. So that's what we practically did.
How did you make money?
So how we make money is
So we're going to be a data analytics source. So we're going to be running polls for universities that want to do studies, for companies like the World Health Organization, and for companies that look for data analytics like General Electric, that look for expanding into rural and the healthcare practices, right?
What kind of data do you keep about the people in the informal sector? I just want to,
okay.
Why would I want to buy data except just for the address?
Okay, so what we keep there is most people in the rural areas and informal segments do not have access to the most basic services like the banking services. They live far. So what we build is we provide an API for you to build mobile banking apps, mobile payment solution. So now what that means is all that transaction data there means now in real time running analytics on how the user's pattern is, how they go about their community, which services they use the most, what is lacking in that community. And we can even hook this up to schools, whereby schools can now interact with people from outside the network. So we can even offer calling services on top using SIP, whereby from my phone here, I can simply call you using a local extension that costs less and takes less amount of time to set up. So these are nano networks. If I can do this, what's your number, ma'am? 7199.
Time's up, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a very smooth way of getting Lindy with number. Thank you very much.
You also become part of the video, so the guys look like they're taking two. So can you want us?
What's wrong? You want us to?
Yes, it's
90 degrees.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard?
Yeah, sure.
Right, folks, your name is?
So you guys can stand here, right? So you can come this side.
So don't turn your back to the camera.
Yeah. So the camera is there, so you can come this side. We just want you and the judges to be part of the.
Right. So where we go. So face us. Right, guys. So your name again is?
Alcohol.
What's the name of your project?
School OS.
Got it. Okay, go.
Stop.
5 minutes. Right.
Thank you. What does the future look like to you? Is it bright? Is it filled with endless possibilities?
While for most young South Africans dwelling in the townships, it's filled with hardships and harsh realities. This opinion is not a fallacy or unfounded. Instead, it's on the basis of a nation whereby 60% of the youth is living in poverty, and they occupy 53.7% of the unemployment.
At the brink of a tech revolution, many jobs face extinction at the hands of automation. Moreover, lower-income workers are at the highest risk of redeployment. An opportunity presents itself. To combat these uncertain times, your technological know-how will cement your future employment.
Take the story of John, for example. He's out of matric. He finds himself unable to find a job, and he can't afford tuition to further his studies. It would seem his situation is hopeless.
In addition, the automation of jobs merely perpetuates the depravity of John's situation. John is in desperate need of a solution. Alcorp is that solution. The solution, Schools OS, has two main elements. It provides a platform and a service. To build on our contemporary Net Academy, the website aggregates educational tech resources.
In addition, you have sites like Udemy, Udacity, etc. And we here at Alcorp are aware of the issues of the commodification of education, particularly with regard to the townships. And as such, Alcorp School OS platform will be completely free. This ensures access to education and an equitable platform. This platform will serve to upskill individuals with basic coding literacy. Furthermore, to create a sense of accountability and to facilitate an effective working environment. A ranking system which grades users according to hours spent coding, to motivate and to incentivize users and considering the issues of mental health, we've built in a feature whereby this web app it will notify users and it will alert them if they fall into a platform of excessive work patterns, not conductive to mental health.
So you may ask yourself, what's in it for you? Well, Alcorp also acts as a service provider to tech companies in order to provide quality skills training to potential employees. This training program will be conducted in adherence to the National Qualification Framework Act. This will be beneficial to all relevant stakeholders. Firstly, to the users, and more particularly the students who use it, they receive the opportunity for potential employment, and secondly, they will also receive skills development. Secondly, Alcorp itself will of course receive money from the businesses making use of the service, and as such they will be able to continue as a profitable organization and as such be a going concern. They will also be able to continue enriching the users who make use of Schools OS. And thirdly, the businesses who make use of the service. They will firstly receive potential employees, secondly, have access to Alcorp's database and also their algorithms and all other information. And thirdly, they will also receive a rebate in terms of the Skills Development Levy Act for fulfilling the requirements of the Skills Development Act in terms of the training programs.
Lastly, all students who make use of the website will possess a comprehensive bio that includes basic information, education, experience, as well as a company-developed statistical analysis. The user is now able to display their abilities holistically, creating a 4D CV. Therefore, the appeal of Alcorp can be seen in the business's ability to effectively contribute to the transformation of society and townships by providing a medium to identify potential employees to prospective employers, and by providing a platform for for all individuals to gain computer literacy in order to adapt to the demands of the future. However, we acknowledge that we cannot do this alone. Instead,
Do you have demo?
So as can be seen with regard to our demo, as stated earlier, we have the information bio of our users, and also here is our front page introducing the company's slogan as well as a brief insight into what this company stands for. There's a ranking as well of one of the users, as well as a unique L Corp ID, which will be unique to each user.
My question to you, are you familiar with IBM schools ratios? In the platform they released about 3 months ago. And what is it called again?
It's called iDeveloper or something.
No, it's yes, DNA, digital DNA, right? Yes. That platform, what it does is actually what you say you're doing, but what they have done is they've also linked recruitment agencies, whoever, any course they finish, they get IBM certificate, and you can also see what they have done. But obviously, with IBM certificate, it is something that is already recognized, right? But with the CV, recruitment companies can also go there, and if they're looking for Java developers, and they can be able to find, and it's specifically designed for Africa. So with what you are doing, I mean, how would you then be able to, because it's also free, and it's also free for companies as well, and so your financial viability, obviously from there, it already becomes really questionable, but also did you check in terms of what they have and to make yours look better than what they've done?
We are not entirely familiar, however we do have a general understanding of the program, and we think it is a great program. However, it does not have to exist mutually exclusive to Alcorp's design of School OS.
What is your target market? Is it high school kids? Is it who are you basically targeting?
We have two broad target markets. Firstly, with regard to the skills development, it is students that have just left matric who are suffering the circumstances of the commodification of education, and as such, they are being allowed to be upskilled. And then secondly, users that can range from all ages that will have access to the platform for free in order to develop their skills accordingly.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. Hold on. Hi. Hi, everyone. What's your project name?
Our project name is ECG Consolidation.
I'm not seeing that.
My group name?
Yes.
Oh, Moneybugs.
Moneybugs.
Yes.
Oh. Is it the Cassie wire?
No.
It says here Moneybugs Cassie wire.
Oh, yes. That's why it's the application.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Greetings to everyone. My name is Tulani. Without further ado, I'll just jump straight into the problem that I identified. Unfortunately, my group members left me, so I was left to build something to make this deal. So basically, I've looked at the problem of consolidation. So I asked myself this: why aren't local entrepreneurs not growing as fast and as big companies? What is it that is actually constraining them, right? So I look at how big companies came about to grow as big as they are, right? So if you go to a country, for instance, you'll find out that you've got five people in the same street who are selling the same products, and as a result, they don't make any revenues, right? These people have no means or community that they've created in which they can communicate their products and find a way to create a network, because that's how the business grows. You have to network with others, right? Be a net supplier for someone. That's how your business is going to grow. But how do you do that when bigger companies now are consolidating? Once a small company is good, they simply swallow up that company. That kills local business. That kills local economy. That's what's killing our local economy in the townships, right? So how do we solve this problem, right? How do we solve this problem? So we should find a way to create a community, create a system in which the township companies are supporting each other. The township companies are creating economic cycles that are driving the cycle of money within the township. But how do you do that? Firstly, you gamify the system. You say, fine, I know that you've got 5 people who are selling bread, right? But we want the person who sells the best bread, right? We gamify the system. We say, fine, we create an application where you can actually go out there and register your company, right? So what happens is that when someone comes to you and buy something from you, you can take out your cell phone and say, hey, please raise my service, raise my company, right? That goes through to the application, right? So what the application is going to do is going to shuffle the companies depending on the one that ranks the highest. But here's the problem now. The higher the company rates, the bigger companies are watching. It's going to be consolidated. It's going to be swallowed, right? So what the application does, it says, okay, you're selling bread. There's probably someone else who's selling the best archer out there. You're the guy selling the best bread. There's probably someone else who's selling the best archer out there. There's probably someone else who's selling the best polony out there. What comes out of that? It's a product. The banchawa, right? Polony, bread, and archer, right? So what it's going to do is that it's going to associate to you, because when you register for your company, there are certain tags that you include when you register for your company, right? So these tags, I'm just going to explain and I'm going to quickly run through the application quickly without wasting time, but let me just take you through the logic. So what it's going to do is that when you register a company, you include tags. If I'm selling bread, I'm going to include tags of acha, right? Polony, because those are all the things that are associated with bread, right? Everyone who's selling acha somehow in the long run is related or connects with someone who's selling bread and polony, right? Because they've got a certain common products that they have, right? Which is what bani chawas, we can mention them, and other food beverages that actually come from that. So what we do is that we associate you with someone else who's selling a relevant product and say, hey, we have a suggestion. You can join with that guy and build a quota. What happens? You become a mass supplier now. You say, you know what, I'm dedicated to making bread, and I don't have a problem with that because I make the best bread, and I'm selling that bread. And guess what happens? Those guys also endorse you and say, you know, this guy has been supplying me bread, he never gave me a problem. He delivers on time, he delivers the best bread. What happens? Within that region, we've got a cycle. Other regions are watching as well. They're like, hey, I want that guy. I'm also selling quarters here, but I'm in a different section. I'm in a Zola 1. That guy's at Zola 5. You know what? I want you guys to sell me bread as well. Right? What happens? That guy is in a township. He can only sell as much. So he can't monopolize the system and say he's the only guy selling bread. What happens? The second guy who comes closest to him is also getting an opportunity, right? To survive. It's also somewhat selling, right? So that's basically how we're creating the cycle. Simple as that. We have a continuous flow of a non-monopolized, non-consolidating system, and it's creating the cycle of economy. That's how we're going to generate generations' income, right? You know, if you can implement the system, you'll never find 5 people selling acha, 5 people selling snacks in the same street. They're not going to make money, and as a result, their business dies. Okay, this is how these big companies are surviving. They've consolidated these companies and they monopolize the system. ShopRite and Pick and Pay, they only buy bread from Sasco and Blue Ribbon. But we've got bakeries in Soweto. We've got bakeries, we've got guys who are making the best bread. But we, as the black community, we haven't created, as people of color, we haven't created a competitive system that is gamified, a system that actually encourages us to work together and create the cycle within the business. So without further ado, I'm just going to quickly run you through the application. I think it's enough to show the logic, even though it's not exactly what I was trying to achieve. But let me just quickly run you through. So the landing page basically has the feeds. So you want to know what's happening. So if you check the feeds there, when you check there on the first feeds, it says Mam Ruby's tomatoes, the best tomatoes, the best tomato vendor you can get locally, right? But let's not mind that. Let's look at the bottom. It says Ben and Derek's Acha Menzo's Polonies. Say for instance, Derek and Menzo's decided to say, you know what? we've now created an association, we now have a cycling. We have to notify the other guys because that is how we're going to drive people to come to this application. To show them other people are using this application. So in the landing page, that's where you're seeing the fees. You're seeing people really benefiting, right? Benefiting from this application, right? So, and here I didn't really populate it with much. This is a profile, it's nothing really important. That's the reason why I didn't include authentication. That's what that's not the important stuff. We want to see the logic, right? We want to see the application, how the application solves the problem. So if you check here on matches, these are the potential matches that have been structured by the application, structured from the database. All the relevant people are doing stuff or products that are relevant to your product. Guys who are selling archers if you are selling bread. Guys who are selling bolognese if you are selling bread. Those are guys who can actually end up being in the business cycle with them, right? So if I see this guy, oh, this guy is selling what? It's Amanda fruits, right? And maybe I want to start a dry fruits company, right? And it also doesn't end there. It actually suggests if there are more guys who are selling archer in the local area and there are more guys who are selling bread, there's a potential business for someone else who's selling bolognese so that we can come up with a quota. So it's going to suggest,
Sorry,
right?
I think you run out of time.
Running out of time. Okay, so.
You want to come over and we can ask you some questions?
Okay.
So tell me, how are you going to make money with the system?
So there's the best way to actually monetize the system is in two ways. We can create a cryptocurrency, right? We can create a cryptocurrency and say we're taking a certain amount, and the moment you start consolidating, because the moment you start joining with other companies, the moment I start joining with another guy, that means I'm making revenues, I'm making significant money, right? We can say we're taking a certain portion to maintain the system, a certain portion to run the system and make sure that everything is running smoothly. I think the best way is to say we're taking a certain portion, right? Because these points of rating, these are points. We can say those are not points actually. We just create a currency, cryptocurrency, right? We create digital contracts, right? To make sure that there are no transactions there's no validation that is done illegally, right? We put the whole system on the blockchain, right? So, like the reviews, how are the reviews being evaluated? I've used the IBM Watson, the red note, right? So what it does is it has a natural language processor, right? It takes tone analyzer, it takes the reviews, it's a string of text. It just passes that string of text. And when you check on your profile, there's a gauge that says your business status. If more people are saying bad things about your company, then you can see your company status is not doing very well. You have to improve your products, right? That's another driving force that makes you want to give quality products. Because these big companies are giving quality products, to be quite honest. Okay. So, yeah. That's that.
Thank you. We love your energy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. We can use that there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Okay. Next one. Team Diebot. Gotcha. By quarter two. Diebot, you guys ready? Yes. Good morning. Good afternoon, actually. Good afternoon.
Sorry,
you haven't slept, so
I haven't slept. I'm a little time dazed here.
Okay, Diebot.
Yes.
Right, you got 5 minutes.
Yes.
Try to do the demo in the 5 minutes.
The demo, we've got a video, and I'm going to show you guys live as a physical representation of what's going on the screen, so you guys can understand what's going on. As we're getting set up.
Don't worry about me, I'm just making you famous.
I know. I want to be trending. If all goes well. Okay, are we good? Good? Sure. Okay. Is this connecting to... Where am I pointing to? If you may. Cool. Okay, cool. We are DAIBot. We stand for DAAI bot. Basically, our problem statement, as you can see, is imagine you are stranded. You have less than 5 megabytes to either get you to a safe place, closest ATM, or find the closest emergency service, ETC, hospital, police station. What is our solution? By using chatbots and SMSs, we can give relevant information to the users, right? So who are our key partners in this to make this whole idea work? Our key partners are any enterprise companies that want to have marketing ad space and find a more creative way to pledge their support to community safety by helping the customers arrive alive. Who are our key suppliers? These are our APIs that we are using. We are using Clickatel, we are using MTN, we are using Google for our bulk automated SMSs and services. Which key resources are we acquiring from our partners? We are acquiring capital in order for us to become sustainable and self-sufficient. Which key activities do our partners perform? Basically, what we need from our key partners, it can be any enterprise, they need to supply us with marketing information which we can use to put on the ad space. What are the key activities? What key activities do our value proposition require? First of all, we are a social enterprise, focused on fighting against human trafficking and rape in township and in general in our country, while creating a creative way for business enterprise to show their pledge against this issue. Our distribution channels are Telegram, SMSs, and we are soon going to be exploring all types of social media chatbots and technologies that we can use that. What is the customer relation? In a low-cost manner, we are providing a tool that shall make them feel safe and improve business enterprise relationships with the customers because they actually really care about your safety. Our revenue stream. Our revenue stream is the money that the business enterprise pay for the marketing space on the SMSs. Therefore, the more enterprise that pledge to the cause, the more users we are able to help we are able to aid in the time of need. What is our value proposition? This is an in-depth spec. What value do we deliver to the customer? We have accessibility, ease of use. In 3 or less, you get the information sent to you in an offline channel, meaning with low airtime and data, you should still be able to read the information and go to your safe place. Which one of our customers' problems are we helping to solve? You are stranded, you have less than 5 megabytes and no money, and you have to find a safe place. As we have already explained, that is our user case. What bundles of products and services are we offering to each customer segment? A dependable, quick and efficient, safe tool. Which customers' need are we satisfying? They need to be safe and secure, which is one of our primal instincts. Customer relationship. What type of relationship does each of our customer, basically we're at an exploratory stage. What does that mean? That means that we have clients, we don't know the business, and with the AI, we are able now, as the people start using the information, now start giving relevant, marketing information to these users, because we know now by enriching, you know what I mean, by enriching the data even more, by getting their sex, their trends, and also the locations in which people are mostly stranded to, meaning that we can actually even have community safety members and whatever, knowing that these are hotspots that people are stranded to, that maybe needs help or whatever. What do the segments expect us to establish and maintain with them? Efficient standard account and easy to merge and easy to control. That means that for the business sides, the enterprises that are putting money, we have to create a system that for them does not require legwork to put the ad space on. Do you understand? So for them, they just send us a CVS or a PDF file, and we should be doing the legwork, and the system should be sending all of that ad space there. Which one have we established? As we are still in alpha phase, we have not gotten any sponsors, but if MT1N wants to go, it's just a database away. How are they integrated with our business model? Basically, our enterprise partners are the main income source. They keep the lights on. But they do it in a creative way by knowing they're keeping their customers safe. How costly are they? We are basically trying to charge 3 Rand per SMS so that we can still split with the API and still take a share from there to keep the lights on.
We're out of time. Would you mind doing the demo now?
Okay. Can I just have the video? Here is the live one right here. So if you click save place, it should be, is the server off? Okay. Why is it lagging? Are you seeing anything? Okay. But basically, if we have technical problems, you can see how we are easily, there we go. There you get my location. Okay. Save place. The network is a bit slow, guys. I'm sorry, but that's why we have the video up and running. So you choose it manually, you click there, you put your phone number there, and an SMS should be sent to you directly.
This is running in, yes.
Yes.
This is running in Telegram.
Yes, Telegram, and the SMS should be sent directly while we process the API request to get your directions to the nearest location based on the location that you have sent us. With that comes the marketing ads based on the SMS at the bottom for the enterprise users. Sorry for the long presentation.
Great. Thank you very much. That's fine. That's fine. Thank you. You're almost there. 4 more. Is that right? I'm going to sheet that there. You're welcome. You should be sitting up here. Take my seat, man. No, you I hope you guys cycle here.
Nice. Please start to the front.
Oh. Okay. Welcome, folks. What's your team's name? Fantastic. Gotcha. Digilife. Welcome. You've got 5 minutes. Try to do your demo in the 5 minutes. If you can't, speak in the microphone.
There's a mic.
There's a microphone right there. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, you can hold the one that's, yeah. Exactly. That's perfect.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please don't drop the mic when you're done.
Oh, no, yeah, these are expensive.
Guys, please pay attention to time. 5 minutes is very little. Just try to keep it to the call.
Have we started yet? Can I take my jacket off?
Starting now.
Oh, okay.
Well, can you talk about it in the meantime? Just describe what you guys are doing. Here we go.
Okay, cool. So while they set up, we were thinking about what the best challenge to tackle is, instead of just thinking of a problem to solve, because a lot of people think of a problem that's close to them and they tackle it, but I think there's a lot of flooding in the app making world, I'd say. So we tried to do something that would tackle a root problem, which would possibly indirectly tackle other problems. We wanted to tackle digital illiteracy, and with that, people could make better decisions about tech, about their lives, from making it to the end of the month, to making a good salary at the end of the year, to
empowering their children and onwards and upwards, and creating businesses and startups in places that it doesn't usually happen. We wanted to, before we actually begin, talk about the difference between rural and township areas, because we wanted to address a specific issue in the township areas where there is access to electricity and internet to a degree, not Wi-Fi, nothing too developed, but the basics. Rural area, I think, falls out of the scope. We have a few facts to back up the fact that technology is available. So we wanted to do to address a few myths surrounding South Africa and technology. Innovation does exist, and it is accessible to most people in those regions. People believe that innovation isn't happening, but it is. There's just a lot of illiteracy that we're not addressing. Connectivity as a problem is actually a myth, because I think it was something like 82% of people in township areas have access to a smartphone, which is a really big number, and we assume it's a lot less. And people assume that education is sufficient when it isn't. So the myth busting is the next little thing we'll talk about. Like I said, connectivity from GPS to 3G is possible. Most households have cell phones, and consumerism is bigger than we think. The problem, like I said, is not ignorance about the technology, it's illiteracy. They don't know why they would need innovation and new technology, and why they would need to use it to tackle problems. And that's why we want to help with that. Cool.
Now the problem with this is there's an amazing gap between the technology available and the number of people who know how to use it. There's a journalist, he wrote an article, and he names the 4 principles of digital literacy, which just so happens to make up the solutions to our app. So the first is comprehension, the ability to extract implicit and explicit ideas from media. So it would be understanding exactly what you're reading and deciphering it. The second is interdependence. Interdependence simply means that the media, different forms of media, need to be able to support each other. Because the moment they support each other, it becomes a bigger and stronger platform and more influence to those around them. The social factors is that the joining of this media can create a greater message to greater masses. And the fourth being curation. It is something very rare in the digital world to find someone who has the ability to understand the kind of information they have and to be able to collect the relevant ones according to themselves. Now, there will be a short demo regarding the solutions to that.
Let's borrow you with a little bit of tech. We first wanted to do like a tracking app, and then we found that there are already 5 that exist in SA. You have Life 360, a women's helper app. So we said, wow, why is it no one knows about it? Why is it the people we're working with don't know about it? So nobody cares about the sign-up sheet. So after you sign up into our app, this is something you'd land with. You're creating a profile based on your education level. We take that into account to address the myth again. And let's say you're 18 and you have NQF level 4. And at that education level, these are your interests. When you continue, you move into a little info page that just addresses information about this, what you're interested in. And then when you move on from that, there's a progress bar to reward you to stay in the app. The more you learn, we give you points. And when he addresses the business module, you'll understand what we mean by this. You get points that you can use as to exchange for airtime, rewards with the companies that we'll be working with. And basically that's That's what we're doing. We're trying to get people to learn, and we're rewarding them for learning. And problem statement. So,
sorry. Alright, sorry for running out of time. I'm gonna briefly explain how our business model works, how with this idea make money so it can be sustainable and continuous. So first, let's talk about the activities. So we provide this digital literacy for these people, and they wouldn't be the people who are responsible for holding these costs. Our customers are not going to be our users. Our customers are going to be people who provide solutions for these users to make their lives easier when they use technology that is between their hands, but they don't realize that it's between their hands. Okay. Okay.
I'm still not understanding in terms of why would I, as a user, want to sign up to your program? How is it different from what is available there? Because I see you talking about rewarding people for learning, but Microsoft program that they are digital learning program already does that. So if you learn that you are a high school student, for example, they give you airtime, and rewards for what you're doing. So that why would I sign up for this compared to what you already have doing?
So
What's your USP?
I would say that you have one route when you go to Microsoft and what they offer, but what we want to do is bridge the gap between all the different kinds of users that would use the app. For example, if there was a mom of four who doesn't know why her B&B in so is not doing as well as it should, our app would teach her that maybe going online, having a website at a later stage, but first becoming visible on Google is what she should do. Because when tourists come, they go to Google to look for where to go. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to address all walks of life in the township area to build up the township area. And in a sense, South Africa.
And additionally, we have to consider the fact that we're not trying to teach digital science. We want awareness. We're not trying to get a bunch of people learning how to code, as with Digital Academy with Microsoft or we want people to be curious enough about their telecommunication devices and what they do. I have a cell phone at home. I want to download a movie illegally. We have an app that tells you a bunch of things about why that is dangerous, and when you learn more, you get rewarded for learning more to protect yourself.
also another little point. We are trying to come up with a digital solution for these townships, but they won't be able to use a digital solution unless they understand how to deal with digital technology, and that's basically their step into it.
And you make money through subscriptions from the users?
So the money comes through those, let's say Yoko wants to distribute the card machines on these shops. They, as people who are looking for marketers, would approach us, and they would be our source of fund. So we would reach these people and then make it work, basically.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Right. Who's next, folks? Scratch left, got it. Cellmate. Okay.
Come on, scratch left.
Okay, folks, ready for you to start? laptop here, or there, or where do you want to put it? Okay, great. Alright guys, 5 minutes. Clock starts now, let's go. You pick up the microphone. The microphone's here on the podium. Folks, why don't you stand over here? Yeah, that's it. And you'll be on the camera as well. And yeah, 5 minutes starting now.
Good afternoon. We are Scratch Labs and we're presenting to you Cellmate. So basically, Cellmate is, we have a problem that we're trying to solve using Cellmate. So the problem is we as youth are always prone to moving around the streets, clubbing and everything like that. So now we have a problem whereby there's theft in our communities, we get mugged, there's health emergencies, there's accidents on the roads. So we're trying to solve that problem using AI. So we've created an AI, and that AI will work via your mobile app. So your phone has multiple sensors, and those sensors will be feeding data to the AI. So the AI will basically learn how you use your phone, and then at the end of the day, it'll tell the difference between you using the phone and someone else using the phone. So now if I give you, for the theft, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say someone mugs you. If you get mugged, obviously that person, the AI will then be able to tell that you're not the one using the phone. It'll tell that someone else is using the phone. In that situation, it will then raise a flag and send it to a web app that we created for backend. So that web app will then, people who are operating the web app will then send it and escalate it to the proper emergency services, either police or in the situation of a car accident, it will be paramedics or and so on. Okay, and now I would like to demo the app, if you don't mind. Okay, so I have the app here. So this app will work by either hit the microphone. Okay, it'll work by either a vibration. You can set it to work by vibration for notification in case it's let's say a false notification. So when it vibrates, obviously it's silent, so you feel the vibration in your pocket, and then you have to disable the notification before it gets to the backend. So you can also set it to scream. Let's say you're in a situation where someone's trying to mug you, you can just do something that you don't really need to do with your phone, and it will pick that up as a flag and then send it to the backend. So now I'll just demo something like there's also a panic button on the app. So the panic alarm, just press it, someone's screaming, and then you can also disable it. So it sends a text message probably here.
After that, what we do is, us as a team, we check if it was a false alarm. The flag will tell us, and it will determine that is it viable for us to send this information and your location to the proper authorities, or we can contact you because we have also your contact details on the web app where the flag goes. And also, we wanted to also use voice over internet protocol, whereby we would have a button here. So let's say you raise a flag and then you get recorded here. So it would come with a button, and then you click the audio button, and then it streams live audio from the phone. So just imagine someone is saying, bring your phone, and then we can hear that. So obviously you're getting mugged. So we'll send it straight to the police. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay. We have created like a docket system. As you can see the name, it's basically like digitizing the police docket system. But not only that, we are kind of like aware of other solutions out there that trying to actually digitize whatever police system are doing, but we're doing differently. So we've actually outlined multiple problems within the system. First, we all know that documents goes missing at some point. So I feel like most of us went to police station to actually report a case. So normally what you do is you go and you fill out some form. So it's supposed to get to the system, but at some point, somehow, the document goes missing. So that's the first problem. Second problem is with the already existing system, sometimes the bigger guys or the top authorities get to tamper the system. They can actually delete, they can actually sort of like hire someone to do their job for them. And the last one is having pending cases. We've been sort of like went and lodged a case, but it took more than 2 years to actually lodge the case and nobody's attending it. So how we're gonna solve the problem, it's kind of different. So there's a constant update of SMSs. So whatever happens to your case, you get to get updates. And also, if obviously you don't get updates within weeks and stuff like that, we have an API where you can report a specific case. You can actually lodge a complaint that why is not my case being attended to? And there's case assignment. So we develop an algorithm whereby whenever a capturer captures a case, we, not randomly, but with the algorithm, we assign the case to a random detective or officer that will actually handle it so that we don't have, I don't know, family businesses, family interests and things like that. So we do it within our system. And also like reporting, we have like reports of how the data in our system gets analyzed. This actually helps with the government. For example, within the police system, you can actually analyze how much long does a case last to get resolved, how much long it gets to sort of like assigned to another officer, and also like the employees obviously who are lacking, and also employees who are actually solving more cases than others. And lastly, the security part. This is actually an interesting one because we try to actually use the benefits of blockchain to actually record every transaction. Whenever you lodge a case, it gets recorded the moment your case gets assigned to an officer. So that transaction becomes permanent in the system and nobody can change it. As you know, you cannot change that. So, okay, I'll go to the next one.
Okay, so as you can see from the moment you capture a complainant or a victim's details, you need to, the system automatically gives them details on who's on the case, the docket number. So I don't know if anyone would like to volunteer a number so that we can see that this is actually working.
083 212 6404.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so. Okay, so from this point on, we can go to the detective's interface where he can literally see the case numbers which has been randomly assigned to him. So from this point on, he can then monitor how many cases he has, how many pending cases he has, so that he can be able to resolve them speedily as well as update them accordingly.
So from this point on, we would like to show you more, but then we had a problem with our UI in the last minute, so we tried to implement something complicated which messed up with everything. So we just tried to integrate the SMS system and then just go and present everything more. So Mkhululi will take you through the business cases and explain who are our targets and why are we doing this. Thank you.
Okay, as you can see from our customer segments, we realize that the justice system is our customer segment, but the service is actually catered for the SAPS. So taking this into consideration, we need to be able to communicate with SAPS so that we can be able to capture information correctly and also be fair and consistent throughout the system so that it cannot be cheated, as well as being able to use cloud services because, as you know right now, it's easier to go to cloud rather than be on-prem. So in terms of key partners and the resources that they will be providing to us, it's a third-party SMSing system, as well as being able to update our Azure services in terms of auditing, being able to verify blockchain details as well, and being able to make sure that even though this is catered for the police, the victims themselves also get like value out of it because they see that, okay, now the police are actually being involved in protecting us. So this is where we see we can add value for the customer, for SAPS, for station commanders as well, so that they can be able to monitor their data. Okay.
What technology do you give to the police station, the police officer?
Okay, so we have an admin portal for them, so it's two ways. For any officer or detective, they can be able to log in. So we have Angular client base so that they can be able to capture, but our logic, our centralized service is on a .NET API, which can be easily integratable to and be usable to other police departments as well, so that it's for the whole country and not just for one single town.
Data integrity. So even I as a developer, I cannot modify or delete anything, which is really important, I believe, yeah. And we've got some nice APIs. So go to Sega. So we managed to develop the entire back end before finishing the front end. So around 2 a.m., that's when we decided to do the interfaces, and yeah, that's good. But these are our API calls. So anyone here who wants to consume our services can actually do that. So it's cool. So we don't mind if you want to delete data because you can't do that. But yeah, it's cool.
Okay, still based on that, the police can develop their own front end, which can be integrated with this, because we're keeping data integrity is here.
Yeah, and there's some nice reports, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well done.
guy here. Maybe just want to check you properly now because you're going to go.
That was a good angle, I think.
Yeah.
But you see, the problem is.
The guy that's giving me is blocking.
Yes.
So I moved a little bit left.
Who's standing
I
blocking?
think maybe you should. Because even somewhere after the pole, because.
On the pillar, maybe?
Yes.
You want to go next to the judges?
Because that angle is like more 90 degrees, it should be okay.
Yeah.
With this chairs. Yeah, let's do that. Just check one picture.
You see, what with the scoring sheet, I put the totals on mine and the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's perfect. So
I've just got to share 1, 2. Okay, perfect. Excellent.
I couldn't see all of them. I did very good.
Yeah. Some of them you can see they struggle because the team fell apart. Yeah, teams like that. Thank you very much, Johnny. Very good. Thank you. Excellent. Yeah, great. I'm seeing Christmas. That was intended to start. It's not me come doing a come with. This was quite good. You probably should ideas and then in some cases where I think there's a lot of things that we can decide to take one of the ideas that I like just remember the brief. Remember the top 10 or whatever. Say what the problem is, how you can fix it, what is the value for the people. And you're done. When you make money, that's it. So it's probably going to be 5 past 3 or something. And then there's other guys that I didn't even hear, but they've been doing some of the things. So it's something that I even spoke about now. Like we could be some companies that don't actually do not because they don't have the same level. But top companies that they do because they saw the number, they know how much they can buy, demand. You get it here. Same what it
that that's what comes with that.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what one they want to do?
I'll say online replacements. There's a lot of schemes that we're judging. I mean, there were a lot of, so well, the Jackson defense have actually started, so maybe soon. Maybe soon.
Yes, I got a call from family care. I'm driving on my way home to Fordridge. Like, yeah. So I hear that there is testing happening. And I was saying to Rajesh, maybe we need to get more feedback from them proper as we lay down. So we know whether we should be in the office at 7:30 or so these people should be seeing less of some of the problems. But yeah, but we still have documents to have issues. Anyway, you know, I realized that I never told you who I am because most of the time I told you. Oh, yeah. Most of the time I told you. Are you watching?
I'm good.
Did you?
So how's it gonna work now?
So now you're getting everyone here. And then we get the top 10 to present to a consolidated judging panel.
Okay.
Do you think there's anything that we can commercialize that we can take into production that you've seen so far?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
It's good for us, doesn't mean someone takes it.
So one day I'm gonna meet with my boss. And then there is deal my ear is empty. Yeah. I wanna see what is it that I need to do. I need any value to come my way. Yeah. Because I might stay for 4 years and get out of here and I want to see what. No, but it's important. It's important. Continuously review because things do happen. What you know is the industry. Yeah, and anything for what they actually do. Some the type of music that I'm making here, I do at home and I can listen to house music in a long time.
Beautiful music. This is Black Coffee Naked.
So is it? You know, I've struggled to appreciate the way that people play.
That guy is just escalated to another level that only he understands. There's no one to touch him.
Yeah. Fortune favors the fortune friend.
Yeah.
I remember just with some ANC folks saying, oh, the coffee wants 200,000 to play for 45 minutes.
Black Coffee. Black Coffee is no longer just South Africa. Black Coffee is literally international. You know when you put a calendar, they say for the next month, not for the next month.
Months.
You literally see for the next 6 months, you put a gig. And it's not just in Europe, it's not just in South Africa, it's not just in Spain, it's all over. That's when you know you are international.
Yeah.
It's like Trevor Noah. I mean, we can't really expect Trevor Noah to charge it.
Yeah.
It's just
December, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No. Yeah, missing. I monitored the list of it. I'll give you Black Ocean, aka Casper, a bit of Bay, just to name a few, and here, just to name a few. These guys are playing during the day summer. These guys in December have private jets. In December, they playing somewhere. I saw Casper's schedule. They literally had a 2-hour gap and almost like 4 or 5 events in a day. So you like New Year's something, New Year's Eve or something, and like Casper is playing number 3 to 4 events New Year's Eve. And I have, so there's midnight, there's 3 o'clock, there's 1 o'clock, he's playing all those places. That's why in December they brag about their private jets but the reality many have texted.
Yeah, you cannot live normally.
Nah, no.
You have to take something.
You have to take something. You have to take something, unfortunately.
But you know that's the problem with entertainment. Huge money. You have to make as much money as you can when you can. Yeah. And in that time you selling your soul. After that, but I think that's the way your point was, you know, you need to sort of mentor people. Take them through the books so they understand. Oh, sure. You sound like you're British. Oh yeah, exactly. I use energetic as the Indonesia. Then you are a true sister. Oh, come on. You
busy with our last presentation. Can I ask that you slowly start making your way through to the co-lab, please? We'd like to start with the top 10 soon. Thank you.
We went for a walk. Live streaming. We went for a walk.
I saw you going out.
It was fun.
Yeah. I thought maybe I should let you.
Back here, eh?
See if I can. Am I? Feedback.
forgot my shot.